This is National Security Study Memorandum, also known as the Kissinger Report. It was done in 1974, declassified in 1989. It's about a 130-page report. We're just going to talk about a couple different little things in it, but you need to read the report in its entirety so you understand exactly what your government's trying to do for you or to you. Section 28, World policy and programs in the population field should incorporate two major objectives. A. Actions to accommodate continued population growth up to 6 billion by the mid-21st century without massive starvation or total frustration of developmental hopes. B. Actions to keep the ultimate level as close to possible as 8 billion rather than permitting it to reach 10 billion, 13 billion or more. While specific goals in this area are difficult to state, our aim should be for the world to achieve a replacement level fertility, a two-child family on average, by about the year 2000. This will require the present 2% growth rate to decline to 1.7% within a decade and to 1.1% by 2000. Compared to the UN median projection, this goal would result in 500 million fewer people in 2000 and about 3 billion fewer people in 2050. Attainment of this goal will require greatly intensified population programs. A basis for developing national population growth control targets to achieve this world target is contained in the World Population Plan of Action, which is part of this report. The World Population Plan of Action is not self-enforcing and will require vigorous efforts by interested countries, UN agencies, and other international bodies. To make it effective, the U.S. leadership is essential. So let's look at some of the topics they talk about in this report. Chapter 5, Implications on Population Pressure for National Security. They want to make sure we don't have too many people who could harm national security. Actions to create conditions for fertility decline. So they're going to do some kind of action to create some kind of condition for fertility decline. You can do your own research on that, and we'll go over that in just a little bit, but it's not something that they're trying to get you to do willingly. We're not talking about the pill. Functional assistant programs to create conditions for fertility decline. So they're going to create these conditions. Food for Peace program and population. That part of the report talks about how they were going to work with these third world countries and basically use food to control whether or not they were going to put certain things in place so that they could start getting their population in control. In the mid-40s or 50s, on those pages of this report, they talk about how the American woman was staying home having too many babies, and so they basically need to get her out of the house, get her working, and work on taking down the family unit so you stop having so many kids, and you have to go out and work more, and gosh, parents don't want to have 10 kids when they're out working. It's hard to raise them that way. A. Research to improve fertility control technology. Let's look a little bit at a few things that may be related to this. ATSDR, Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry. This is on fluorides, hydrogen fluoride, and fluorine. Some of this is what you find in your water, toothpaste, you shower in it, you drink it constantly. Let's look at how fluoride, hydrogen fluoride, and fluorine may affect my health. In adults, exposures to high levels of fluoride can result in denser bones. However, if exposure is high enough, these bones may be more fragile and brittle, and there may be a greater risk for breaking bone. In animals, which we are, a version of an animal, exposure to extremely high doses of fluoride can result in decreased fertility and sperm and testes damage. This is by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. This next one is on the National Autism. You can get it off their website. And I'm not going to say this right. I'm not a professional speaker. I'm not going to claim to be, but thymurosol is an inorganic mercury compound that is metabolized to ethyl mercury and thiosilicate and has been present since the 1930s as a preservative in some vaccines and pharmaceutical products to prevent bacterial and fungal contamination. So let's look what that is. The facts. Mercury is hazardous to humans. The use of toxic poison as a preservative is undesirable, unnecessary, and should be eliminated entirely. The United States is in the midst of a tragic epidemic of autism. An analysis of the U.S. Department of Education data from 1992 to 1993 in comparison to 2000 to 2001 indicates there has been an average increase of 644% among U.S. children. Now, if you go through and read this report, it's not that the numbers didn't increase because they got better at reporting it or anything like that or diagnosing. You can see at the bottom it says confirm the autism epidemic is real and not due to changes in diagnosis or population changes, nor is explained by other factors. It is explained by the poisons that we ingest in our body. That simple.